Welcome to Middle Math Academy, Unit Rate and Unit Price Level Number 3. If you're looking for any more unit rate and unit price practice, please feel free to check out levels 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. Each topic has 5 levels of challenge. Let's take a look at our learning targets. I can calculate unit rate and unit cost. I can determine the better deal by calculating the unit cost, and I can compare unit rates. Go ahead and rate yourself before we get started. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest and the most confident. How do you feel about these topics before we start? Once you've rated yourself, I want you to complete the opening problem, pause the video, come back once you're done. Okay, so I'm not going to go over the opening problem, but the notes that we do go over will cover the same information. Make sure you're writing with me. Unit rate is a comparison of quantities where one of the quantities is 1. Now, just a couple other things. The fraction line means divide. And to find the unit rate, we are going to divide. Now, here's a quick tip. We're going to look at what the question is asking for one of. That will be our divisor or our denominator when we divide. You can always pause the video if you need more time. Now, before we go on to note 3, we're going to practice example A and B. Example A says, Dame read 28 books in 2 years. How many books did she read per year? Per year is a signal that we're looking for how many in 1 year. And so because we want 1 year, that's going to be our second number when we divide. So 2 years is going to be our second number or our denominator. And 28 books will be our first number or our numerator. Remember, this line means divide. So we'll do 28 books divided by 2 years, which equals 14 books per year. Then I always like to circle my answer. So 14 books per year is our unit rate. Key point being, whatever you want one of should be your second number when you divide. Pause the video and complete example B. Example B says, Ben ran 300 miles in 30 days. How many miles did he travel in 1 day? Okay, so we know we want 1 day, so days will be our second number when we divide. And so we'll do 300 miles divided by 30 days. 300 divided by 30 gives us 10 miles per day, which is our unit rate. Pause the video, make sure you have this down. Okay, let's finish off note number 3 and then our last 2 examples. Note number 3 says, finding the unit cost helps us determine the best deal when we shop. Unit cost helps us find the amount it costs per one. So unit cost is the same thing as unit rate, except it has to do with money. And now when we're finding the unit cost, money will be our dividend or our first number, our numerator, when we divide, because we're looking for the cost per item. So cost needs to go first when we divide. And then remember, money always rounds to the hundredths place. And so if you got a answer like this, 1.7 or 1 7/10, if it's money, you'll write it as 1.7. 3.70 or $1.70. Now I'm going to complete example C with you, and then you'll complete example D on your own. Example C says, which is a better deal? Provide evidence to support your answer. Now this is level 3. We still have sentence starters here, but if you're doing level 4 or level 5, these sentence starters won't be there anymore. Okay, so let's use them to our advantage today. It says, fabric sold at $14.28 per 3.5 yards. So we're going to write $14.28. We're going to write our money first, divided by 3.5 yards, 3 5/10. And 14.28 divided by 3 5/10 yards is $4.08 per yard. I'm just going to circle my answer because that is our unit cost. Pause the video and complete the unit cost for store B. For store B, you should have done 825 divided by 2 5/10 yards. And in your calculator, you'll get 3.3. Now, if you remember back in our notes, money always goes to the hundredths place, 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. So I need to add a 0 here, and we have $3.30 per yard. And so now you'll ask yourself, would you rather pay $4.08 a yard or $3.30 a yard? Well, $3.30 is cheaper. So store B is the better deal because 1 yard, right? That's what we want, one item, is cheaper by, if I do $4.08 minus $3.30, I get 78 cents. So it is cheaper by 78 cents. Pause the video, complete example D on your own, then come back to the video when you're ready for page number 2. All right, on page number 2, I'll complete problem A with you and then have you complete the rest of the page on your own. A says, if Anna ran 320 miles in 40 days, how many miles did she run in 1 day? So I always like to underline what we want one of. In this case, it's days. So days are going to be our second number when we divide. Make sure you're writing with me. And we'll do 320 miles divided by 40 days, which equals 8 miles per day. And then we can circle our answer. That is our unit rate. After we find our unit rate, we're going to go back over to this box and we're just going to write a sentence. Anna ran 8 miles per day. Go ahead and pause the video, make sure you have this down, and complete the rest of page number 2. Come back to the video when you're ready for page number 3. All right, on page number 3, once again, I'll complete the first problem with you, and then you'll complete the rest of the page on your own. A says, at the market, 8 batteries cost $6. What is the unit cost? So remember, with unit cost, we want to know the price per battery or the cost per whatever item we're talking about. So money will be the first number when we divide. So I'm going to do $6 divided by 8 batteries. $6 divided by 8 batteries is 75 cents per battery. Once again, I'll circle my answer. and then head back over to this box, and I can just rephrase my question into a sentence. What is the unit cost? The unit cost is 75 cents per battery. Once you have this down, complete the rest of page 3 and come back when you're ready for page 4. All right, let's take a look at page number 4. Page number 4, I'll do problem A with you and then have you complete the rest of the page on your own. A says, which is a better deal? Provide evidence to support your answer. Once again, we have these sentence starters. This is level 3. But if you are eventually going to do levels 4 and 5, remember these won't always exist. Okay, so make sure to kind of pay attention what these contain. Option 1 is 45 tacos for $14.85. Option 2 is 22.20 for 60 tacos. So let's go ahead and first label option 1 and option 2. Whenever we're finding the unit cost, money will always be our numerator when we divide. So we're going to do $14.85 divided by 45 tacos. And then for option 2, we'll do 22.20 divided by 60 tacos. When I do $14.85 divided by 45, I get 33 cents per taco. That's a pretty good deal. I'm going to go ahead and circle my unit cost. 22.20 divided by 60 tacos is 37 cents per taco. Now we're going to think to ourselves, would you rather have option 1 or option 2? Well, option number 1 is a better deal because one taco is cheaper by 4 cents. 37 cents minus 33 cents is 4 cents. Go ahead and complete the rest of page 4. Come back to the video when you're ready for page 5. All right, on page number 5, I'll work with you on A, and then you'll complete the rest of the page on your own. But before I get started and going over A, I want you to pause the video and try to do A on your own first. Come back to the video once you're done. Okay, so on page 5, first check to make sure that you labeled Cianis and Gromos. For Cianis, you should have done $17.04 divided by 8 slices. If you wrote that down, go ahead and put a check. And when you divide, you get $2.13 per slice. Go ahead and check your work for Gromos. If you got it correct, put a check. And then you should have had Gromos is the better deal because one slice is cheaper by 5 cents. Complete the rest of page 5. Come back to the video when you're ready for page 6. Once you're on page 6, pause the video and complete the common misconception problem. Then come back to the video. Okay, so the first thing I want you to check for is that you labeled Chelsea and Kyle. If you didn't label those things, go ahead and label them now. Next, you want to make sure that you showed your work and you labeled 768 meters for 8 minutes for Chelsea and 954 meters for 9 minutes for Kyle. Here is the rate that you should have gotten for Chelsea, 96 meters a minute. Remember, they were trying to get 100 meters per minute, so unfortunately Chelsea did not make that goal. but Kyle got 106 meters per minute, so he did. So in our answer, we can write Chelsea did not meet the lifeguard requirement at a rate of 96 meters per minute. Kyle did meet the lifeguard requirement at a rate of 106 meters per minute. Make sure you have this down. Then I want you to complete the closing problem on your own, and then come back to the video once you're finished. This video won't explicitly go over the closing problem. Next up, we're going to complete these 3 debrief questions. First one, in your own words, what did you learn today? Sometimes it's helpful to flip back a few pages and just review the problems that you did. How much effort did you put in during class? Rate yourself 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Explain. And then what do you think is a common misconception or a common mistake a student might make when learning unit rate or unit cost? Once you've answered these 3 questions, I want you to go back to the very first page. And now that you've gotten a lot more practice in, I want you to rate yourself again after the lesson. How confident do you feel in these learning targets? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Thank you for joining us today at Middle Math Academy. Once again, if you're interested in more unit rate or unit price practice, please feel free to check out levels 4 and 5. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day.